I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. It's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
A big play there on the first play of the game. And even 50 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On second down, Eckler. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They go play action. Winston looking for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scott Miller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Right 54. Watch one. No.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ndamukong Suh able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offense.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
Now on third and long. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Down. 60 outlaw. Ready to go. Kill. Go. Just get it.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down. Derrick Henry. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores, and, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
It's easy to go back to the time Ndamukong Suh entered the NFL, and he was an absolute force right from the beginning. But it's been fun to watch his career progress, and I'm starting to see a little more finesse in his game, although I'm not sure he'd like me to describe it that way. But you see the agility, you see the movement, and, of course, he can bull rush when he needs to get to the quarterback.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to, and he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man. 2nd time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again, and how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is a counter play. Eckler, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Draw play. It's Eckler. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
I know in most cases people think you throw the ball in this situation, and when they ran, it almost felt like a little bit of a surrender, maybe a give up. But I don't know if that's really the case. They might have been probing a little bit, checking the defense and filing it away for later. They might have something working later on.
Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got a 1st and 10 at their own 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Henry. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Just got that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, but now it'll be 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. A 1st down throw for Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston now. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Running on 1st down, Eckler. Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 41, Winston. And Watson has it right side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Scott Miller, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. First down now, but that clock rolling. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
2nd and 10. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Bang, 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 bang. Check the backer, check the backer. Check 50, check 50. Kill, kill, kill. Hey, exit. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Like 54. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Winston now to throw on first down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Jameis to throw it. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Ready? Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's get the ball. Here we go.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Gay's kick is good, and that will give them a 12-point lead. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Come on, man. Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people...
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Henry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Check. Check hot route.
Back to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Carl Nassib, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Throwing, Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on 2nd half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the 2nd half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Second and 9 now. Able to shake him off. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
Check 26, check 26. Rock it. Hey, foxtrot.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you.
Back to throw here. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey,
Looking to throw. He's got this one complete to Perriman. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Ndamukong Suh picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Hey, Charlie. Flip it.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle. Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. As you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away? Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along? Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it? I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go.
31 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And this is caught at the 8. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They're going to look to throw. Oh, he stays up. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Check 52. Back. Look, squeeze. Hit it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the...
And that's caught inside the 30. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a 1st down here. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here is Eckler. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Going on the ground with Eckler. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring up fourth. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.